if there's a developer who is passionate about being able to release their game globally on PlayStation,
it's going to be bigger and better games, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
that's the criteria. Is it a fun game? We finance the project. The financing isn't the real value of it. The value is learning. Hi, my name is Hector Fernandes. I'm the co-founder of PlayStation's Hero Project.
Hi, my name is Sujith Sukumaran. I'm the Business Development and Strategic Initiative.
Yeah, so we announced earlier this year the selection of the 5 games in the first cohort of the India Hero Project. Since then, we've opened the second cohort up where we've received a lot of submissions. We've been evaluating going through those games for the past 6-8 months, something around this nature, and we hope to have an update soon.
We're going to have more updates coming out towards the end of the financial year, more and better games. So, yeah.
While we can't really get into exact numbers, it's been hundreds.
It's been the same thing for the first cohort and second cohort. We actually go through all the application, all the games, and we speak to everyone who has actually applied for the program.
We're still in the process of going through all of the applications and builds of the games that we received. So we hope to have an update soon that will hopefully essentially answer all those questions you just asked.
It's going to be bigger and better games, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think it's right. We always say, is the game fun, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say. That's the criteria. Is it a fun game? That's literally it. Every title that comes in is different. We don't determine what the developers submit in, so we're always looking at all of the experiences that are available. When a title like that would come to our table for us to take a look at it, I think at that moment in time, we would essentially be able to assess and evaluate and see if that's an opportunity that we could basically get involved in. But at this moment in time, all of the games that are coming forward, we're selecting the best ones that we feel have the greatest potential to be a great showcase of the talent of developers that live here, but also that are the most fun to play. So I'm hoping that will happen very, very soon, but there's no deadline time on it. I can't actually give you one, to be honest.
We can see that, right, in terms of the quality in games and the developers on the IGDC floor are pushing it. As and when it comes in, we're going to definitely go make it happen.
So I'm not familiar with what they do. What I can tell you what we do very well is if there's a developer who is passionate about being able to release their game globally on PlayStation, if they would like to learn how to effectively essentially use our SDK to understand how to create go-to-market strategies, to basically get a deeper involvement into what makes an exciting core game loop, I think that we as a program stand out in this way. We have many people across the PlayStation org that come to work, assist, help, guide, provide mentorship to the developers who are selected into the program. We finance the project, but the financing isn't the real value of it. The value is learning and that training, I think, is going to help us be able to accelerate the industry from these developers being able to pass on that information to essentially each other. And then hopefully these studios will grow and become 2 studios and become larger and being able to be more successful in their 3rd and 4th games. So there is really a value of learning in education, I think.
Because when we actually, as part of the Hero Project, we're looking at a horizon of 7 to 10 years, right? So we are effectively, what you're working with every developers is you're teaching them how to actually make games, right? Art of making games, right? Through this, they learn it, and it's second game, third game, right? So effectively, you have your next big title coming out there.
Yeah, so the way it works is that when we effectively receive a submission, we go through the budget with the developer based upon best practices that we've seen to be effective when we develop games for ourselves. Part of that obviously includes localization, and so localization is going to come down to the number of languages that they would like to essentially go out and release in. This is everything from e-figs to Japanese, Korean, and of course there are some local games here that are taking an interest in making sure that they have local languages represented inside of the game. Ultimately, the development budget is determined by what their needs are. So if they're wanting to do it, we're like, yeah, let's do it. It's that simple of an entire process. It's based on the needs of the game.
So the developers actually reach out to us, and when they put in the budget, right, they look at effectively think what their game is to actually what audience, right, and they said, okay, we want to localize in certain region. Yes, we do that.
Yeah, so we have a lot of data as essentially a platform owner, so we can have a pretty good idea of what is the type of genre or effectively age group, essentially the demographics that go behind the the kind of gameplay style that they are trying to achieve. So we can speak to them about this kind of information to help them make the best decisions possible for their game. Ultimately, it's up to the developer to decide how they want to express their vision. We're there to provide as much counseling and enough data to hopefully help them make the wisest decision possible, but we are not dictating to them how they should basically create their project. We're just there to be able to provide as much mentorship as possible so that we can essentially have them make the best game possible, and hopefully they can be as successful as they can be.
The developers have the creative freedom, and we have to actually give the data and support to make their vision happen.
Yeah, so everything is going to be decided on a case-by-case basis. There's an opportunity for us to get involved in that manner, but there is no obligation for either party to basically engage in that way. It really just comes down to what makes sense for the developer. It may be that they want to go partner with another third-party licensee, which they're open to basically do. Ultimately, we just want to make sure that they have the best opportunity to be successful.